Hey guys, and welcome back to A Minor Production, where we major in music. My name is Jessica Kent, and today I thought I would share some of my previous recording experiences with you guys and maybe give you some tips and some lessons that I've learned along the way. So first of all, I thought I would talk about my first time in a studio ever, and I was actually only 14, which is kind of cool. I still remember it was New Year's Day in 2006, and I was visiting my friend in Australia, and we both loved singing, and we'd somehow convinced our parents that we had to record, and we went and recorded 3 songs at like 7 o'clock at night, and we showed up to the studio, and it turned out to actually be a caravan. We recorded a duet as well, a Hilary Duff song. And by duet, I mean one of us sang one verse, the other one sang another verse, and then we sang the chorus together kind of thing. At that stage, there weren't any harmonies, we didn't do anything like that. It was very straightforward and just trying to get the, the right notes sort of thing. While we were recording, the guy that was recording us, he said to us, one of you doesn't have enough breath. You flat because you don't have enough breath. He said, but I'm not going to tell you which one. Like, I'm not going to tell you who it is. But one of you, your breath control is wrong. And I think he was trying to be nice. I mean, we were really young, and he was trying to, sort of cushion the blow. But I think that was kind of, in the end, you don't want somebody who's not going to be completely honest with you if they're recording you. So if you have the opportunity to find somebody to work with and you go through a couple different people, make sure you find somebody to record with that is going to be completely 100% honest with you. And I don't mean that they're going to be like extremely rude or whatever, but that they're going to critique you honestly and fairly and give you feedback that is helpful, because I think that that's extremely important, especially during the recording process. So that's my first experience ever. The second time I recorded, I'm trying to remember, I think I wrote my own songs and I recorded in my hometown. I recorded in a little home studio. At that stage I didn't play guitar, I could just sing the songs. And the guy that was recording and producing and everything, creating the songs for me, he wrote the guitar part and he did all the music. I don't really remember a lot about that. So in my next experience, I think was again, we went back to Australia. That stage we recorded twice. We recorded again with the same guy, the caravan guy, but at that stage he had a massive studio that a lot of famous people had actually recorded in, which is really cool. He had this massive house that he just built and this special little studio on the side. So we felt really cool. We only recorded one song with him because it was pretty expensive. Because we had very little time together to prepare, we didn't really know the song very well. We didn't have anything really prepared. I think that's something that is so important when you're going to record. If you're singing an original song, make sure it's complete. Don't come in with like half-finished song. Make sure it's finished, make sure you know the harmonies. Make sure you've rehearsed the song to perfection, that you could literally play through and you could record it and it would be perfect. Make sure before you spend money in a studio that you are 100% prepared before you step foot in that studio, because without that you're going to waste so much time and so much money and it's not really worth it. So that brings me to the last time I recorded in a studio. I flew to Joburg and I recorded 3 of my own songs. This time I completely prepared. I had practiced for months in advance. I even practiced some harmonies. And when I went into the studio, I knew exactly what I wanted, and I think that is so important. I spent a whole week. We built the songs from scratch, from the drums up, and I was part of the entire process, which was really, really fun. And such an incredible experience. That happened at Shaw Music Studios. Shout out to John Shaw, who was really great throughout that whole process. So while I was working in Joburg and recording this EP, I realized that my genre of music was very, very different to the producer's genre of music. Trust yourself enough that you can say, no, I don't want that, I don't want that, change it, I want it to sound like this, I want it to sound like that. And I found that when I was there, I surprised myself at how I was able to be like, you know, no, I don't like that, I like that, I like that. You've got to walk this line between being prepared and knowing what you want, but also being able to be flexible. And if they don't have exactly what you want, or if you hear something strange, we had this really weird sample that sounded so strange, but I really loved it, and we put it in the song from like the second verse on. It's very important to be flexible and being able to adjust when you're in that environment, because you don't know what you're going to get until you're there and you're listening to these different sounds. Another important thing when you're recording, listen to everything fresh in the morning, because if you're in the studio for like a week and you go in and you spend an entire day working on the song, you come back in the morning and you've got to listen with fresh ears. You've got to really critique it at that point, because you haven't been listening to it like 100 times over. It sounds completely different the next day sometimes. One of the best parts about recording is that you can learn so much from that experience, and you can ask and be like, well, what does this do? What is that? And don't be afraid to ask unless don't be annoying, but you don't get that opportunity all the time, so make sure you ask if you want to know something. Once you've finished your songs, it's really good to ask for opinions from people you trust. It's good to play things for your friends and family as well, but make sure you listen to the opinions of the people that know what they're talking about. Find somebody that hasn't been listening to these songs over and over again and wasn't there while they were being created, to give you a fresh perspective on it and to give you ideas to tweak or whatever. I think that's important to get as well. So I think those are just some general things I've picked up along the way. I just wanted to give you a little video about my previous recording experiences. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe for more videos. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comment section below and I'll answer them for you. I think that's all for now, and we'll be back on Friday with another video, so we'll see you then. Bye.